Belgium defender Toby Alderweireld has left Tottenham Hotspur Football Club after 6 years for £13 million. A former Tottenham Hotspur midfielder has stated that Heung-min Son has given up on winning trophies by signing the new contract at Spurs. And reports are stating that Spurs will complete the deal for Christian Romero from Atalanta within the next 7 days. Welcome back to the channel. Hope you're all keeping well. In today's video, I'll be going through all of the latest Tottenham news, all of the rumours and all of the reports. And if you don't subscribe to this channel as yet, please do hit that subscribe button. Just before I get into today's video, make sure that you download the OneFootball app for all of the live football scores, results and news, as well as getting all of the latest Spurs news on this channel. You can also see it all here. Download the OneFootball app to keep up to date with everything Tottenham Hotspur, club news, transfer news, match information, videos, tables and results from all around the world. Don't miss out, and please do let me know what you think of this app. Just before I get into today's video, I would just like to thank everybody for subscribing to this channel and watching this channel on a regular basis. Of course, these last few weeks it has been very busy. Lots of official news from Tottenham Hotspur Football Club, lots of media reports and lots of rumours as well in the media. And something I thoroughly enjoy doing, running this channel, really do. I feel very passionate about Tottenham Hotspur Football Club. If you watch this channel on a regular basis, you will know that. And I love going to see Tottenham home and away. Now, 2 years ago in 2019, I was very lucky to win the Football Content Award for the Best Club Content Creator. Well, the voting has just started for the 2021 award. So if you would like to vote, all of the details are below. You can vote via their website, on Twitter or Instagram. It's been reported by various media outlets that Tottenham Hotspur defender Toby Alderweireld is in talks with Qatar club Al Dahal. Now, this is a report by BBC Sport, and they are stating that the Belgian defender who joined Spurs in 2015 is understood to have flown out to Qatar for further discussions over a move. Tottenham are thought to want £13 million for the centre-back, who is 32. Toby Alderweireld's contract runs until 2023, but the club's new technical director, Fabio Paratici, together with manager Nuno Espirito Santo, is in the process of reshaping the squad. Now, on social media yesterday, this picture was posted a number of times showing Toby Alderweireld with a scarf round his neck and holding flowers, and it looks like the deal has been completed. £13 million for the defender, which of course now puts that into the pot for Tottenham to go out and spend on new players. It looks like the deal has been done. Please let me know your thoughts in the comments section below. Toby Alderweireld out the door this summer. Now, my thoughts on this, I've always said it. I've said it for the last couple of months, that I think that Toby Alderweireld was our best defender. So, of course, our best defender has now just left the club for £13 million. This is good money for Toby Alderweireld. However, we are now, we are very short at the back. And, it's very fair to say that we need defensive reinforcements this summer. And now we've just lost our best defender. So, Fabio Paratici, and Daniel Levy, they must have something up their sleeve. They must have plans to bring in at least 2 centre-backs. Because at the moment, who would you say is Tottenham's best centre-back? Is it Joe Rodon? Is it Davinson Sanchez? Is it Eric Dyer? But we have been in talks and we've been linked heavily to the likes of Christian Romero from Atalanta, Jules Koundé from Sevilla, and Tomiyasu from Bologna as well. So will Tottenham get all 3 of these deals done? Will we get one of them? Will we get 2 of them? It'll be interesting, as I keep saying, it will be an interesting couple of weeks for us. How much money are we spending this summer? But it is good money for Toby Alderweireld. So, on the balance of it, good money for Toby, but it is absolutely key now that we bring in at least 2 or 3 defenders, definitely a couple of centre-backs. And as we all know, we need a right-back. And it'd be interesting as well to see if Serge Aurier goes out the door and we replace him with a new right-back. And Tomiyasu would fit in very well because he can play at right-back and at centre-back. But a dream window for Tottenham Hotspur, if we can get Romero and Jules Koundé over the line, it will be a dream window for us. Now, what about this for a Tottenham Hotspur legend? The club have just announced that Gary Mabbutt has reached a milestone of 3,000 calls. Club ambassador and former captain Gary Mabbutt has now called over 3,000 vulnerable and elderly Spurs fans during the COVID-19 pandemic. Since March 2020, Gary, who made 629 appearances for Tottenham between 1982 and 1998, has been making daily phone calls to vulnerable and elderly supporters who have been isolating or celebrating special occasions. Legend Gary Mabbutt said, "Over the last 16 months, I've spent 2 hours a day speaking to fans from the age of 70 to 95. By just talking to someone for a few minutes a day, you get a good understanding of whether they are in good spirits or they are struggling. After what has been a challenging year for so many, being able to bring a small sense of joy to our fans has been incredibly worthwhile. It was a great surprise to see and hear from some of them, and I look forward to speaking to many more of the fans in the future." Now, my thoughts on this, Gary Mabbutt, what an absolute legend. I tell you what, I was very lucky to actually interview Gary Mabbutt last year during the COVID-19 pandemic. William Hill, the channel sponsors, actually set the interview up with him. And I told Gary Mabbutt at the time that when I was a kid, I actually wrote to Gary Mabbutt, and he was one of the only Spurs players that actually replied. He answered all my questions that I sent him a questionnaire, and he answered all my questions, sent a signed photo back. He has always been absolutely fantastic with all of the fans, a true legend and a truly, truly nice guy. If you ever meet Gary Mabbutt at Tottenham Hotspur or anywhere else, you will know exactly what I mean, because he will stand there, he will answer everybody's questions. He is Tottenham Hotspur through and through, and as I say, a remarkable guy, and what he's been doing over the last 16 months is absolutely fantastic. In the last 24 hours, former Tottenham Hotspur goalkeeper Paulo Gazzaniga has signed for Fulham. Gazzaniga, 29, has signed a 2-year deal after being released by Tottenham earlier this summer. Now, very quickly, my thoughts on Gazzaniga joining Fulham. I like Gazzaniga. Every time he played for Tottenham, I thought that he'd done a fairly decent job for us. When he made his debut at Wembley Stadium against Crystal Palace, he actually won the Man of the Match award. He'd done a good job every time he come in. Whether he's going there as a number one or a backup, he's a very, very decent goalkeeper. So if he is going to be sitting on the sub bench for Fulham, they have a very, very good backup there. Now, in the last couple of months, Tottenham Hotspur Football Club have heavily been linked to Lyon defender Joachim Anderson, who, of course, spent last season on loan at Fulham. Fabrizio Romero has provided an update on the defender, and he has now stated that Joachim Anderson is set to select Crystal Palace from many options as next club. The agreement is close to being completed on a permanent deal. Talks progressing. Now, I've seen a number of reports regarding Joachim Anderson, and they actually state that Fabio Paratici and Nuno Espirito Santo just don't fancy him. He was top of the priority list on the Tottenham Hotspur transfer list in the last couple of months. But since these guys have come in, they don't fancy signing the defender. Italian journalist Fabrizio Romano also provided an update on the Eric Lamela and Brian Gill swap deal. He has stated that Sevilla are set to sign paperwork for the swap deal with Tottenham, including Brian Gill and Eric Lamela, plus €25 million from Spurs. A report has been published by the Daily Mail, and they are stating that Tottenham's billionaire owner Joe Lewis at odds with Harry Kane, with club chief annoyed by the way that the England captain has tried to secure Manchester City transfer. Harry Kane has weakened his chances of leaving Tottenham this summer by annoying the club's billionaire owner Joe Lewis. In a way, he's gone about it, trying to get a move to Manchester City. While focus has been concentrated on Harry Kane's relationship with chairman Daniel Levy, it's understood that Joe Lewis, whose net worth is £3.5 billion, has been unimpressed with the way that the England captain's future has been discussed and is digging in his heels. It then states Harry Kane, who hasn't won a major trophy in his career, said in an interview with Gary Neville in May that his future was up to him rather than the North London club. Last week, there were reports that Spurs had agreed to let him join Manchester City for £160 million, a price the league champions have made it clear they won't pay. Lastly, in this report, it says Harry Kane is currently on holiday in the Caribbean, and with England having been in Euro 2020 action until the 11th of July, he is unlikely to be ready for the first weekend of the Premier League season on August the 15th, when ironically Spurs meet Manchester City. Now, my thoughts on this. Now, newspaper talk, this is. Nobody knows how Joe Lewis is feeling. Nobody knows how Daniel Levy is feeling unless Daniel Levy releases a statement, which are quite rare. I love the fact that Daniel Levy, what was it, a month or so ago, Daniel Levy actually put a video out, answering questions from the Spurs media team. I hope and I wish that he did that a lot more to give fans an update of what's going on at the club and what his feelings and thoughts are. And nobody at the moment knows how Harry Kane is feeling. Now, I've said on previous videos, I would love Harry Kane to just put a tweet out saying, I'm looking forward to the season, I'm a Tottenham Hotspur player, and I will be a Tottenham Hotspur player. Well, sadly, that's not going to happen yet. Now, it has been reported in the last 24 hours by lots of media outlets stating that Harry Kane, because England went all the way to the final, he might now not play the opening game of the season against Manchester City. Now, if Harry Kane is not involved in that game, it will be very, very telling. I believe if he's not involved in that game, he's going to be on his way out the door. That is my thoughts. Because if you think as well, the likes of Phil Foden, Kyle Walker, John Stones, if they're in that game, then that tells you instantly that there is a problem with Harry Kane. Because there is no way on this planet, I feel, that those three key Manchester City players are not going to be involved in that game. They're the Premier League champions, and they will want every single player involved in their squad. Pep Guardiola is not going to say, "Oh, because you're in the Euros and England went to the final, you can have this weekend off and you can have an extra holiday." I just don't believe that whatsoever. So if Harry Kane is not involved in that game and the Manchester City players are, it will be very, very telling, and I think that Harry Kane will be heading out the door. But going back to what I was saying yesterday about the fee, I think that Harry Kane or Tottenham certainly can demand a lot of money for Harry Kane, and if Spurs want to sell him and Manchester City desperately want him, which they do, then make them pay the premium price because Harry Kane is worth it. You are guaranteed goals. You know that you're guaranteed a golden boot winner who is going to score a good amount of goals a season. And if they've got players like Kevin De Bruyne and Phil Foden, etc., in their team, they know that they're going to feed him so much and grab a record amount of goals. I've no doubt about that. But it annoys me to say that, or this report certainly, when it says Tottenham's billionaire owner Joe Lewis at odds with Harry Kane, and he's annoyed at the way that he's tried to secure the transfer, because no one knows that Joe Lewis is upset about it. It's all just guesswork, because Joe Lewis does no interviews whatsoever connected to Tottenham Hotspur Football Club. No interviews at all. A report has been published by TalkSport and now stating that Heung-min Son was accused of lacking ambition and not being bothered about winning things by signing his new deal with Tottenham Hotspur Football Club. The South Korean international, who arrived from Bayer Leverkusen in 2015, will now stay at North London until 2025 after earning a bumper pay rise. Former Spurs midfielder Danny Murphy has been talking on TalkSport all about Heung-min Son and said players are different. When somebody is content and enjoying life and enjoying their football, not everybody is craving the same things. I'm sure he's getting a great financial deal, but the chances are he is not going to win very much in the next couple of years at Tottenham. That's the honest fact. So he's obviously not that bothered about winning things. Danny Murphy then went on to say, I'm talking about every individual player being different in terms of what they want from life and football and their careers. It does suggest to me like he has kind of given up. He might believe that Tottenham can turn it around. I don't know. Compete somehow. But most people who know football don't see that happening next season or in the next few seasons. If we're honest, with Chelsea, Liverpool and Manchester City's firepower, he has given up that, I think. Now, my thoughts on this. Now, if you watch this channel on a regular basis, you will know that my favourite word is trophies, and you will know how much I talk about trophies and the lack of trophies at our club. Of course, our last trophy that we won was in 2008, a League Cup. Now, people like Heung-min Son, I absolutely love Heung-min Son. He's one of my favourite players, if not my favourite player at Spurs right now. Absolutely love the guy on and off the pitch. And he deserves trophies at Spurs. And this rebuild that we're going through at the moment, I'm just hoping that this rebuild works out and Tottenham Hotspur start putting trophies in the cabinet as soon as possible, because the likes of, and I've said this many, many times, the likes of Hugo Lloris, Harry Kane, Heung-min Son, Dele Alli, you know, all these players deserve trophies. And when you look at some of these players that we've had at the club and they've left without winning trophies, you know, Pochettino as our manager, Toby Alderweireld now leaving without a trophy, Jan Vertonghen, Christian Eriksen, Moussa Dembele, you know, the list is absolutely endless of all the great players that we've had over the years and they've left without trophies. So I want to see people like Heung-min Son lifting trophies. And it really does annoy me every single time when all of these pundits come out and say, oh, what do they want to go to Tottenham for? They're not going to win anything. What do they want to stay at Tottenham for? They're not going to win anything. I'm hoping now that this rebuild that we're going through, you know, I know it's a huge summer for Spurs. I know we've only got our one confirmed signing so far, you know, more in the pipeline. You know, Fabio and Daniel Levy are working on other transfers as well before the season starts. So I'm hoping that this rebuild really, really does work out because us fans deserve trophies as well. But, you know, people like Heung-min Son, you know, now committing for the next 4 years at Tottenham. You know, he's had a good 6 years with us at the moment. So if he does stay for those 4, it will mean that he would been at the club for 10 years. And he does not want to end, you know, his career at Tottenham after 10 years without winning anything. So this is a real key couple of years for Tottenham because we do need to start putting trophies in the cabinet. Reports have been published by the Daily Mirror this morning as per Sports Lens, and they are stating that Tottenham Hotspur are expecting to complete the deal for Christian Romero within the next 7 days. Spurs are looking to bolster their defence this summer, and they have earmarked Romero as their first choice centre-back target this summer. It states that Tottenham are close to securing a deal for Romero from Atalanta and the club expect to complete the transfer within the next week or so. The Daily Mirror are claiming that Romero, who won the Copa America with Argentina this summer, is valued at £25 million. Spurs have already agreed personal terms with the 23-year-old, who was voted the best defender in Serie A last season. Atalanta initially demanded 60 million euros for the defender, and according to reports in Italy, Spurs offered around 50 million euros, and the two clubs appear to have settled on a deal that suits both parties. Now, my thoughts on this very quickly. I don't want to keep repeating myself on every video, but Christian Romero to Tottenham Hotspur Football Club would be a superb signing for us. It really would. It would be a real statement signing. So if we can get this deal over the line, it would be great. And I tell you what, I think we are going to get this deal over the line because if we have allowed Toby Alderweireld, our best defender, to leave the club to go to Qatar and get £13 million in for him, I believe that the club do have something up their sleeve. We must do. We must be signing, you know, Christian Romero. It must be happening. You know, there's been so many reports, and even Fabrizio Romano the other day confirmed that Tottenham have agreed personal terms with Romero. So this is good news. So I tell you what, if this signing does come off, this would be fantastic for us. And 23 years old as well. And he was voted the Serie A's best player of the season. So we will be signing a superb centre-back. And let's face it, over the years, this is what we've been crying out for. And lastly, the Tottenham Hotspur under-23s will next be in action on Tuesday, 7:45 p.m. kickoff away at Hastings. I think tickets are still available online, so if you would like to go over to the Hastings United website and you can book on there. On Wednesday, the Tottenham Hotspur first team will be in action away at MK Dons as we'll be playing our third pre-season friendly. That is also a 7:45 p.m. kickoff. Thanks for watching today's video. I hope you enjoyed it. Please do let me know all of your thoughts in the comment section below on everything I've spoken about in today's video. If you don't subscribe to the channel as yet, please do hit that subscribe button. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. Stay safe and well. I'll see you on the next video. Until then, come on you Spurs.